What is going on, everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream. Trying to get it set up at least for you guys here. Didn't realize how dark it is. Let me get the light on real quick in here. There we go. Still getting things set up here in the office, so you'll have to bear with me. Like I mentioned in last night's live stream, I do plan on actually taking you guys live once again, screen sharing, do a little bit more interactive tutorial videos and streams again for you guys. But I did at least want to do a live stream for you guys really quick as I'm getting some things adjusted here. Hoping that everything's cooperating all right. Technology and everything. And yeah, like I said, had some time again just to go live this afternoon. It's actually about to start storming here in the Dallas, Texas area. Been doing a couple things today in terms of just business and personal stuff and things of that nature. But my whole point, as usual with our live streams, if you're new to me, by the way, wondering who is this guy on your live feed, or if you're seeing this after it goes from a live to a video, my name is Griffin Thomas. Of course, I own a pest control company in the Dallas, Texas area, Preferred Pest Management. And we just document my overall business journey here. We talk about, things that work for me and our business, things that don't work for me and my business. That way you can hopefully stay away from those things that don't work, right? We've been in business for about 4 years now with our pest control business, and we've learned a lot along the way. And like I said, I just document everything. I try to teach you guys things that I've learned that have taken me many hours of research, trial, error, this and that and the other. Just hopefully that can, like I said, speed up your learning curve, if nothing else. So if that interests you and you think it's something that may benefit you in the future or even now, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that good stuff. That way you won't miss any future live streams, videos, anything like that we do over here. And my live streams are more so like an open Q&A format as well. We do have a main topic, like our topic for today is how to generate leads for your business. Specifically, if you're, like I said, a service business, if you're like us, a pest control business or an HVAC business, a plumbing business, any type of service business, this content on this channel will help you out big time. And like I said, when we do these live streams, it's kind of an open format Q&A along with, a little bit of an actual topic. And like I said, today's topic, we're going to be talking about just generating leads, because everyone loves to focus on sales. It's one of two camps, right? People either love to focus on sales, closing rates, this and that and the other, or people love focusing on lead gen, generating leads, getting the phone ringing, getting forms filled out, all that type of stuff. And both are equally important at the end of the day. So I don't really understand why people get so fascinated with like one or the other, because obviously if you're really good at selling, but you can't get the phone to ring, your sales skills don't really matter. All you're doing is continuing to, do this reenactment over and over and over again, usually with a coworker or something of that nature. Or you're on the opposite side, you're able to generate leads, but you have horrible sales skills. We're going to be addressing kind of the lead generation side of that today for those of you that, have trouble getting leads, or maybe you already get a couple leads here and there, but you're having to pay for them using like lead generation tools and, things of that nature, and you're looking at trying to figure out how to generate leads without just unloading your bank account at the end of the day. So with that, we'll just kind of get right in. If anyone, as you'll file in, has any questions or anything, as always, just shout them out in the chat below. Doesn't have to be on topic or anything, as long as it's, business related. I'll answer to the best of my abilities. And yeah, with that, I'll just kind of dive right into the overall topic of lead generation, generating leads for your business here in 2024, the heart of 2024 already. We're almost into June already. I was going there, Bino 62. said, I love this topic today. Yeah, no, I love this topic too. I need to do more on sales as well, but I figured, we'll start out by hitting the lead gen, and then either sometime this week or next week, I'll do another topic on the actual closing the leads, because it's one thing to get the leads in, but like we said, if you can't close them, then the lead generation doesn't matter at the end of the day. So we'll hit on that as well in another video. But yeah, in terms of the lead generation, lead gen, in my opinion, is broken down into two separate categories. You have what I like to call sweat equity lead generation, which means you're going to have to work your butt off to get these leads. And then you have the quote unquote, not necessarily easier route, but kind of the skip the line route is what I like to call it, where you're doing paid ads, you're paying a lead generation agency. There's so many out there anymore. Some off the top of my head, are eLocal, another one, Angie, another one is obviously like Google local service ads. Those are like what you would consider, Thumbtack is another one. Those are what you would consider like lead generation tools, advertisers, if that makes sense. And then, of course, you have other ones in between that, which are, like Google ads, Facebook ads, things of that nature, where you're actually doing the ads yourself or you're paying an agency to do it. That's all, we're not going to hit on that as much. We're going to focus more so on what we call the sweat equity lead generation, where we're actually putting in the work to get our phone to ring from an organic standpoint. So how and what can we do to get our phone to ring from an organic standpoint, where, when we're first starting our business, what is the one asset that we have a lot of? Time. So with time, you need to be going out and actually developing the tools and the skills to get that phone to ring. Now, when you're going this organic route, I want you to be aware that you can do everything that I'm going to talk about, and it's not going to just happen overnight. Now, obviously, the more that you do, the quicker that you do it, et cetera, the quicker the results will speed up. But in a lot of cases, it generally takes a few months if you're doing it every single day, just like not skipping a beat. I notice usually within about 3 to 6 months, you can definitely start noticing the phone ringing considerably, having forms filled out on your website, inquiry forms, things of that nature, usually within about 90 to 180 days. Again, it just depends on how quick you can go about doing this, and then a lot of it is a time compound effect of things too. In the first, and what I would consider the easiest, not that any of it's easy at the end of the day, but the first one that I would suggest you guys get on first and foremost is obviously optimizing your Google business profile. We've talked about the Google business profile countless of times on this channel over the last few years, and I would say it's equally, if not more important now than ever before in terms of free leads, in terms of, you're not really paying for them, right? Unless if you're obviously paying an agency to optimize your page and all that type of stuff, then obviously it costs you money. But like me, I don't pay anybody to optimize our Google business listing. I do it all myself. I create the post myself. I'm doing the updates, the photos, updating the whatever you want to call services, all that different type of stuff. There's a whole bunch that goes into optimizing your Google business profile. When you go on there, you don't want to just open it up, put your logo on there, and just leave it alone. I see so many companies that do that. A lot of people are getting better and better. I think it's becoming more widely known that, like, hey, if I pay attention to this and I get reviews and I do this, I do that, I can actually get a lot of free business from my Google business listing. And a lot of people don't understand that still to this day. So, obviously, first and foremost, get your Google business profile listing up and running, but also constantly be going in there and optimizing it. Do the updates at the bare minimum 1 to 3 times a week. Ideally once a day if you have, like I said, the time to do so. Let's be real, guys. I mean, I've been in this for 4 years now, and even I still go in and do all this stuff myself. And I have pretty much a full route at this point. I have usually about a week left in the month in terms of if I really bust my butt and get things done. I can usually have about a week where I don't have any stops, but I'm close to pretty much a full route at this point in terms of pest control service work. And like I said, even I still have the time to go in, schedule the posts, respond to reviews, send out review requests, everything that you need to do to just stay on top of the business profile. And when we're talking about the Google business profile as well, one thing that, which will actually transition us into another part in terms of free lead generation as well, is optimizing your website around your Google business profile. Now, again, this is going to more so apply to those of you that are in a service business. We have a pest control business. I know we have people here that are looking at starting pest control businesses or HVAC, all these different type of service businesses. When you're creating your website, you don't want just a bland website, with a home page, and like that's it, right? You want to make sure that you're creating service location pages specifically. When we say service location pages, what do we mean? That means, if you service like us, we're in the Dallas, Texas area, Plano, Texas specifically, and there's a bunch of suburbs that we service. So we need to make a service location page. I actually just made another one here today for Allen, Texas. I thought I had one, but I didn't. You need to make service location pages for every single town or suburb that you treat. So like us, for example, like I said, we're located in Plano, Texas. So we're going to create a Plano, Texas page. Then we're going to create a Richardson, Texas page, and so on and so on. But then with that, we don't just stop there. That's kind of the bare minimum that you need to do. From there, you also need to create service pages. So say again, we're a pest control business. You're going to go ahead and you're going to have obviously your homepage, then that location page, let's say Plano, Texas, for example, and then below that, what services do we offer in Plano, Texas? Well, we do ant control in Plano, Texas. So that's a page. And this is it kind of in a what's called silo structure. It's kind of like a tree. Think of like one of those like tree graphs or whatever, where you have your home page up top, your service location pages underneath, and then your service pages that go underneath every single location page as well. That's our next step down. That's where we're talking, ant control in Plano, Texas, termite control, Plano, Texas, all that different type of stuff. So you're going to build out a full-on website with, depending on how many towns, suburbs, cities, things of that nature that you service, you could have as few as probably 10 to 30 pages on your website. You could have some, I'm well over 1 to 200 at this point, because even after that, job's not finished. After we have all those service pages underneath each location, we need to start building topical authority, is what it's referred to as in the SEO community, where we are now we have our ant control in Plano, Texas, right? Now we're going to do blog articles about, carpenter ants in Plano, Texas, feral ants in Plano, Texas, odorous house ants, Plano, Texas, fire ant treatment, Plano, Texas. Like, you're building all this topical authority around ant treatments in Plano, Texas, and you're giving Google, you're kind of forcing Google's hand essentially from a website SEO, on-site search engine optimization side of things. You're forcing Google's hand to be like, this website continues to publish content around ants in Plano, Texas. Maybe we should show this to people that are looking up for ant control related services in Plano, Texas. A lot of times your little blog articles that you're writing, those very rarely are ever going to rank very well. They're going to usually be, from my experience, so some do rank, to my surprise. Like if you, I published an article a year or so ago about our landlords responsible for pest control. I think I just said in Texas, which is where I kind of messed up because it didn't really work with the whole silo structure. And it was ranking, page 1 is getting multiple clicks and things of that nature. That was when I made the switch in terms of, I was like, okay, I'm making blog content, but I'm not making blog content that's actually supporting my pages. And the moment I made that shift, I noticed specifically over the last couple months that our website, our main pages, like our service location pages, like Pest Control Plano, Texas, Pest Control Rockwall, Texas, all those type of pages, they've been slowly but surely coming back up with their rankings. And not just that, but going back to the Google Business Profile, whenever you have a website that's structured properly, because Google will scan that website, specifically your header, and they see that, he services Plano, Texas, Allen, Texas, Richardson, Texas. You're sending signals to Google for the Google Business Profile that these are areas that you service. Of course, when you fill out your Google Business Profile, it's going to ask you which service areas do you service, which obviously you want to fill that out correctly so you will show up in those areas. But when you actually show more authority that our website shows that we service this area, you're showing, again, just more authority, more legit I don't even know if that's a word. I was about to say legitness. I don't even think that's a word, but like you're just showing more credibility, I guess, because Google knows that there's so many fake business profiles that are made on a daily basis. Why do you think they make it so hard anymore to verify a business listing, to move a business listing, all this stuff? Because there's so much fraudulent, fake BS out there that, the more credibility you can give to Google, the easier you make Google's life to show that you're legit, the more they're going to reward you with better rankings. I mean, for example, if I actually pull up, this is where I wish I was screen sharing right now. Like I said, I'll have this all set up for you guys here very soon, because we're getting the office set up. I don't know if you guys can even tell, I'm literally using my freaking chair from in the dining room because I'm waiting on my new office chair to come in the mail this weekend. But yeah, we're slowly getting everything set up here in the home office too. I'm running a search real quick on the tool Local Falcon. I brought up Local Falcon a couple times. They're similar to Bright Local. What they do is they will run a grid report where you're essentially leaving little dots all over the map, and then it will show you what your rank is if you were to type in whatever type of service you're looking for. Like if you said pest control, like what I typed in here was pest control service. So it's going to show, I forget what this is, like a 15 by 15 graph over a 9-mile radius, what our average rank is. And we just moved our business location. It verified about a week ago, week and a half ago now. And we're already starting to rank pretty well within the actual, what I would consider the intermediate of our location. When I say intermediate, I mean, within like a 2 to 3 mile radius, we're starting to rank very, very well, pretty much all times of the day. Oddly enough, I actually posted a short little video about this a few months back. There was like an algorithm update where your business hours did affect your profile rankings, is what I noticed. That I feel like may have actually they either did another update or something, because that is no longer the case. I actually did a report last night, and we were ranking very, very well within about a 7 to 9 mile radius. And like right now, for example, I can see that like I said, about a 3 mile radius, we're essentially in the top 3. There's a couple dots that are still showing 5 or 6, but majority of them are showing 3, 2, couple 1s. And like I said, we just moved that location. It got verified just over a week ago. So we look for that to continue to rise. We're getting calls from areas that I'm just totally surprised by. I mean, we're getting calls already in the Richardson, Texas area, which is approximately 8 miles or so, 8 to 10 miles to the south of our location. We got a call in Garland, which it's a part of Garland. If you know anything about the Dallas, Texas area, Garland and Richardson have an area to the northwest of Garland that kind of meet up towards President George Bush Highway. We got a call down there just yesterday. And then, of course, we're getting our usual northern Plano up towards Allen, Texas area. We had a couple Allen, Texas calls, which led me to the point that I realized we didn't have an Allen, Texas page on our website. And I was like, man, I'm literally one exit from Allen. Why are my rankings 5, 6? There's a 3 up there, but 5, 6, 7, 10. It should just be a lot better. And then I was like, oh, you don't have any Allen, Texas pages on the website, dude. So this morning I started cranking out a couple pages for that, specifically the main location page. And then this evening, I'm probably going to crank out a couple, actual service pages underneath the Allen, Texas page. Again, just start trying to build up that authority around the Allen, Texas area. Because, like I said, guys, the easier you make Google's life in terms of showing them that you're legit in that area, you service that area, you're an expert in that area, they're going to be more likely to show you to those areas, which is probably why when I'm looking at this graph, even though we're about 10 miles south or northwest, that is, of Murphy, Texas, we're ranking about the same as what we're ranking in Allen, Texas, which is literally a mile to the north of us. So why would we be ranking almost, like I said, pretty close to 10 miles northwest, or no, I guess not 10, about 8 miles northwest, or I guess the area we're ranking in is 8 miles to the southeast. Our location is to the northwest of this area. My whole point is, why are we ranking virtually the same, if not better, in a couple of these little dots on this map than an area that is literally 1 mile to the north? And by the way, it has nothing to do with the competition. The competition level is the same across this area. It doesn't like drop off or anything like that whatsoever. This entire area is super, super competitive. So, yeah, it's just going to get better and better from that side of things. But that's something that you guys definitely need to do. I would definitely use a tool like Local Falcon, or another one that we've used in the past is Bright Local. I've been debating switching back to them because apparently they have some new tools in there as well that they're offering and things of that nature. I'll keep you guys updated on that. But that is a very good tool to use. I'm just going to see if I can show you guys really quick. Let me see if I can flip the screen around. There we go. So yeah, like I said, we would be doing a screen share, but we're still getting things set up. So like you can see, our location is like right, where are we at? We're like right in this area, right? We're almost right where this one is, as a matter of fact. We're like right in this area. And then as you can see, you know, Allen, Texas is literally right here. It starts at like this exit, one of these two exits right here. Bethany, that's right. It starts right here at Bethany. So see how in Allen, Texas, we just like drop off immediately? I mean, we're literally, what, about a mile, 1 to 2 miles from our location, and we just drop off into 5, 6, 10 immediately. Where, like, if we look over here further off to the southwest, we're virtually in the same rankings, but we're much further out. We're literally an additional, like, 2 to 4 miles out. So, yeah, I mean, the rankings are definitely coming along. It's very early on in that area as well. And what I was getting to with the business hours thing is they must have done another algorithm update to fix that. I'm not 100% positive. I haven't like confirmed anything research-wise or anything like that. But I noticed, oddly enough, we tend to rank better in the after hours. So that I found a little bit interesting. I'll keep you guys updated, see if, you know, that continues or anything like that. But yeah, no, overall, in terms of my business profile, things are progressing pretty well. In terms of what you can expect to, in terms of lead generation from just your Google business profile alone, it will depend obviously on the population in your service area, because obviously if you live in what we would call like a top 10, top 20 market in the US, which means you're very, you know, a lot of population, a lot of competitors, things of this nature, you could probably expect, if you're optimized well, you know, you've had your business profile optimized and firing on all cylinders for at least 1 to 3 years. Well, not even 1 to 3 years, probably about a year. At that point, you're probably looking at lead generation of bare minimum 25 to, I've had some months around 50, 55 leads in a month. Was our best month. It was like 52 leads or something like that. It was just crazy. And again, that doesn't even factor in your website too. This is just, we're talking strictly calls. We're not talking people that clicked on your website and submitted a form, people that clicked on your website and called from the website. We're talking strictly people that called from the Google business listing. If you factor in everything, I mean, shoot, oh my gosh, like the Google business listing and your website, those two things alone, if you put in enough time, effort, and energy into them on a daily and weekly basis, like I said, guys, there's no reason if you're in a top 20 market for you to be getting at least at the bare minimum, even on a slow month, 20 to 30 leads a month. On a busy month, 50 plus. Now, again, if you're in a slower market, like I always use my cousin, for example, because he lives in a market where the population of his service area is around like 200,000, maybe 250 at the most, 1,000 people. And obviously it's a much, much, much smaller market. Like, just to put in perspective, literally that little area that I showed you guys where we're ranking like number 1, number 2 overall, that area alone has about 200, 300,000 people. If I were to expand, you know, the whole 9-mile radius, there's probably upwards of at least at the bare minimum 500,000, maybe even 1 million people in that area. So I always love using his experience as well when we're comparing, the bigger markets to the smaller markets, because I know a lot of you guys are also in these smaller markets. So what should you expect in a smaller market? Well, he does a lot of the things that I do, not every single thing. I always get on his butt about it in his area. I'm like, dude, you could totally dominate that area if you just do what I tell you to do. And he does some of it. He does quite a bit of it. And even just what I would consider half-assed doing what I tell him to do, he's getting on at. Now, I will say, there is a caveat with this. He does pest control and lawn control. So he has two different avenues he could be getting leads from. But I mean, from what I heard from him back, had a little shake going there. From what I remember, he said like back in April, he probably had somewhere at the bare minimum around 30 leads last month. Now, again, leads do not mean sales. We'll get into how to close these leads and why you shouldn't be like overly stressing or over analyzing, your closing rate. I hear all these like crazy numbers out there from people who are saying that, 80%. Now, don't get me wrong. If you are in a season of your business where you're selling your services super cheap, then, like we said, low, like we were talking about yesterday, low intro offers, things of that nature, where it's going to be a higher closing rate. Of course, you're probably going to be upwards of that like 50 to 60% range, but maybe even 70 if you get on a good little streak. But a lot of these leads that you will get that are what we would consider cold leads are not referrals or anything like that. These are people that are usually pricing around or looking for either A, the cheapest company, or B, the best company. That's more so what it comes down to more than anything. You can sell your ass off and you can give them all these different options. But at the end of the day, if they're looking for the cheapest company, they're looking for the cheapest company. And unless if that's you, you're not going to get the sell. So like I said, we'll have a whole other either live stream or video about, what to expect in terms of your closing rates and all that type of stuff, and like an actual sales video. Today, like I said, we're talking more so about the lead generation side. But even in a small market, during the busy months, you could easily expect, again, this is from my experience and my own blood relative cousin's experience, where he's in a smaller market with about 250,000 people. He is still getting about 20 to 35 leads a month during busy season. And I think his worst month over the winter was somewhere around like 10 leads or something like that. So obviously it's considerably smaller, but what do you expect when you're in a smaller market too, right? Like, when there's only so many people, there's only so many leads to go around at the same time, if that makes sense. Where, like I said, in my area, within a 10-mile radius, there's well over 1 million people. So it makes sense that, if anything, I should be doing even more than what I'm doing. But yeah, no, those are kind of like your two main ways. Now, obviously, there are other avenues in terms of what we would consider, the sweat equity, lead generation. You always got referrals, of course, but referrals obviously take time to come in. You're not going to get referrals literally from day one when you got 10 customers, 50 customers, hell, even 100 customers. I didn't really start getting referrals coming into my business until we had serviced probably well over 500 customers. And in terms of recurring customers who were like on the schedule, probably up around 150 to 200 customers. We're at like 200 recurring customers, maybe a little over that at this point. But, like I said, it took us servicing over 500 customers, not just recurring, we're talking one-time services like termites, exclusion, this, that, and the other. It took serving over 500 customers and lots of reviews before we started getting consistent referrals coming in. Now we get, anywhere between 1 to maybe 5 referrals a month on average. But there are months where we don't get a single referral. It's not a form of lead generation that I personally like to rely on or even factor into my business strategy, just because you're relying on other people. I don't like to rely on other people for business. I even offer my customers a crazy offer. I offer a free service for every single referral that you give me that they end up signing up with a service for us. And a lot of people think that's crazy. Is it though? Because think about it. When you go and you pay lead generation companies or you pay for Google Ads, things of that nature, you're usually looking between, at the bare minimum, $100 to $200 or more, depending on the time of year, per customer acquisition. So Is it crazy to offer your customers $100 or $125 even for giving you a white hot lead? And by the way, they don't even get that money, that discount, until the customer signs up for a recurring service. It doesn't apply to one-time services, anything like that. They have to sign up for a recurring service. To me, it's a no-brainer. A prime example, I had a woman refer me to her mother in Plano. She lives in Rowlett, mom lives in Plano. And the mom ended up wanting pest control and rodent control. So we got her hooked up, something like 150, 175, something like that, plus tax to get started, and then $50 plus tax a month going forward. So take out the initial cost. Look at the yearly. The yearly is pretty much $600 a year that I now gained as long as she's a customer. And I am giving this customer what's equivalent to about $100 in credit towards her net because she pays per year. I don't even have to give her that credit until August now. And like I said, it's going to come out to about $100. So I gave up $100 to get well over $600 the first year, and then $600 a year going forward. To me, it's a no-brainer. That's how I play the referral game. But again, it's not like I have a strategy, but I don't rely on it. That's why you don't hear me talking about referrals a lot, just because to me, it's not a strategy. It's just something that is a little bit of extra icing on the cake. If we can get, like I said, 1 to 5 new customers a month on average from referrals, to me, I'm like, oh, that's just extra, icing on the cake at the end of the day. So, lastly, in terms of lead generation, we talked a lot about, the sweat equity ways, SEO, things of that nature. We talked about referrals. We hit on lead generation platforms like eLocal and Thumbtack and all those other ones. Of course, you have, like we said, Google ads, Facebook ads, all those type of ad sources. The last one is going to be networking in social media groups. Had to get a drink. Believe it or not, when we do YouTube videos, when you see all the cuts in the YouTube video, it's usually because I'm taking a drink, which, by the way, I am not sponsored or anything like this, but First Form out of St. Louis, Missouri, best energy drinks that I've ever tasted. They're not like overly in your face with a bunch of BS, natural flavors and all that BS added. Really good too. But anyways, like we said, the last one is going to be networking with people in social media groups. Now, again, this one for me is kind of right on the border. It's not something that it's kind of like referrals from the standpoint of it's not a source where I'm like, okay, I am going to get X amount of customers or X amount of leads every month from this. It's just something where whenever I see someone in a local group post asking for references, things of that nature, I will go ahead and plug my business in there, let them know that I'm the owner, and if they have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Other things are, like Nextdoor, the Nextdoor app, having your customers vouch for you on there, giving them discounts to do so. And then the same thing as Facebook, because people will go to Nextdoor and ask for referrals as well. Plug your business in there, have your wife or whoever it may be vouch for you in these groups. Like I said, it's not something that you necessarily want to rely on. But again, when we're talking lead generation, especially early on when you're doing less than probably 200,000 a year, 100,000 a year, and time is on your side, you just need to do what you need to do to get leads, to get people calling you, messaging you, filling out form inquiries. Like anything that you need to do that's not going to cost you money, in my opinion, you should be doing it until you get to a point you just don't have the time to do it anymore. And at that point, you're probably doing all the other stuff that we talked about. So I think that pretty much wraps it up for this video, this live stream. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it so far. If you have, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button. And if you're new to me, definitely go ahead and subscribe. Hit the bell icon, that way you won't miss any future live streams or anything that we do. Again, if you're tuning in for the first time and you're wondering who the heck is this guy, my name is Griffin Thomas. I own a pest control company, specifically Preferred Pest Management in the Dallas, Texas area. And on this channel overall, I just kind of document my overall business journey, show you guys things that work for me, things that don't work, my lessons, just my overall journey, in hopes that maybe it'll help kind of speed up your learning curve, because we all have a learning curve out here in business. It's just a matter of, how quick do you go around that learning curve? Do you learn from other? It's like, I think it was, man, I should know this because, I'm a Christian. I read the Bible. I believe it says somewhere in the Bible. If not, it's just a really good quote either way. It's, how's it go? A wise man learns from other mistakes. A foolish man only learns from making his own mistakes, so something of that nature. And that's kind of what my channel is for. I made a promise one night to God whenever I couldn't sleep one night because I was stressed the hell out about money. We had just had our first child back in 2019, and like I knew I was going to start my pest control business. I've been doing YouTube for a while. I think we already had like 1,000 subscribers at the time. We're now up to almost 2,700. Shout out to you guys continuing to subscribe every day. But I remember I just sat there and I just like made it. I wasn't even like religious or, didn't even know if I believed entirely yet at that time. And I was just like, man, God, like, if you're real, like, I promise you, if you bless me with the ability to not just make money and things of that nature, but just like bless me with, the drive, the relentlessness to just make shit happen by any means necessary. I'll give everything away possible. Obviously, you can't literally just give everything away, your time and all that stuff. But I was like, I'll give all the information away by any means possible. And the more that I continue to get blessed, the more I try to hop on here and just, like I said, just give all that information away that I, continue to learn and absorb, because, God's been good. So, yeah, no, hopefully, as always, like I said, hopefully you guys did take some valuable information from the stream. It will be going from a stream to a video. I know we had someone ask that yesterday about, do the streams go from a stream to a video? They do. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time because YouTube has to go through their upload process and everything. But Vaughn Goldsmith, what are we talking about? We're just wrapping it up. We were talking today about lead generation, how to generate leads for your business, specifically the quote-unquote free ways, by just investing your time more than anything into optimizing your Google business profile, your website, just all these different tactics of getting leads, getting people to call your business, submit forms on your website, things of that nature. We're just wrapping up here today. Got everything all off the chest in terms of things that, like I said, in terms of lead generation that should help you guys. I'm actually looking over my rankings right now as they're coming in for website stuff right now. But yeah, no, like I said, hopefully you guys take some valuable information from the stream, or if you're watching this once it goes from a stream to a video, then a video. If you did, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button. Lets me know that you guys appreciate the live streams and all the content that we put out here for you guys. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe down below. Hit the bell icon right beside it. That way you won't miss any future live streams or videos. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one.